This video highlights the changes we have made to MoversSuite at version 2017 R2. The ability to set service times that cross into the next day is now available to you. In local services, you can request a service that goes past midnight. When you do, the application displays a caption of "Ends next day" next to the service time setting. And if you schedule recurring services by entering a through date, then each of the services created will also be requested to end the next day. From the main grid in local services, you can see which services cross into the next day. In local dispatch, the next day caption displays for these services within the requested services screen and within the main dispatch grid as well. The Ends Next Day caption also displays when setting service times that cross the midnight boundary. You can cross the midnight boundary when making crew assignments as well. A separate column is available to inform you of the next day's data. MoversSuite continues to track the hours assigned to personnel and updates the available, scheduled, and weekly hours for the selected date accordingly. So, if you have an employee that works on a service that goes into the next day, only that portion of the time scheduled for the selected date affects their availability. Likewise, the additional time scheduled that runs into the next day affects the next day only. If you wish to see all the services and service times for the person, you can click here. This button is available for assigned crew and allows you to view their scheduled time for the selected date. The Scheduled Times dialog displays the service information, including the order number, along with the starting and end times for the service. Note that for the services that cross into the next day, that the end time is midnight. Again, only that portion of time scheduled for the day affects the person's availability for that day. The time that goes past midnight reflects on the following day. The Next Day feature is available for equipment resources as well. For dispatch services that cross the midnight boundary, the Job End Time column within the dispatch grid highlights in blue. You can see this highlight feature within the Local Services data grid as well. When you enter actuals for services that cross the midnight boundary, the application allows you to document the time crossing midnight. You can flag these additional hours as overtime as needed. You can also utilize the rates defined within the rate plan to determine the rate in effect for the rated labor charges. One of the reasons for the Next Day feature is to allow you to document service times for your crew under a single entry, as opposed to entering times individually for all crew personnel. Of note, job costing also takes into consideration next day services to provide accurate costing data. When working in long-distance dispatch, you can now view the containers, packing, and unpacking associated to the order. 3 new columns are available within the Orders tab and within the Current Driver Activity tab. They display the total number of items set for each CPU category. Please read more about these changes through the online help for MoversSuite at version 2017 R2. Thank you.